This is off of my 1953 Craftsman 100 series industrial bench saw, model number 113 27520 that I am restoring. I'll demonstrate in a minute how I did this. I couldn't show it while I was doing it because I had to get the shaft in as quickly as possible. Because you should freeze them overnight in your freezer to shrink them down as best as possible, and trust me, it works. So that's what I did, and I had to move quickly to get it all together before it started warming up and expanding. Let's see if I can get a shot of the bearings there. They're pretty high quality, made in Japan, WTW brand, double seals, 2RS. Don't get the Chinese bearings, really. Get a good quality bearing that's going to last you a while. I can tell you from experience, the Chinese ones are not good quality. A friend of mine ordered these for me, and he ordered a set of the same size in a Chinese made brand as well, and he said, well, you can pick whichever ones you want. And I had told him I wanted Japan. I had told him I wanted made in Japan, Germany, or US, whatever he could find. So he found these Japan ones, but he also ordered the other set because he needed a set too, and he said, no, you can pick whatever set you want. I said, no doubt about it, I'll pick the Japan ones. But I did look at the Chinese ones just for Hans. They did a small comparison, and the Chinese ones, unbelievable, the difference. It was as if they had already been used for 20 years. Lots of play in them. Too loose. They were spinning too freely. The thing is, your new bearings, they should have a little rolling resistance. They shouldn't be spinning like they're on butter, you know, which this has. Yeah, if I roll it, you can see the resistance. It's got tire tolerances, but the Chinese ones were just flopping around. And, the inner race, you could wiggle that all over the place with your finger. So I mean, it's really just a no-brainer to get a higher quality bearing. So, anyways, these are great, and yeah, for the rolling resistance, if you put a saw blade on here, it'll actually roll a lot smoother. But that's just the right amount of rolling resistance you want to have. See, I'm just turning it and letting it go, and you can see how much play there is in it. So anyways, I'm doing a full restoration on this saw, but I wanted to do a quick video on this because when I looked online, I noticed no one had done a video on the actual bearing installation. You know, they talk about it and everything, but nobody did an actual video on it. So I probably should have tried to do this when I was putting the shaft together, but it probably would have been too awkward. But I think I can demonstrate alright how I accomplished it. One other thing to note, the cups in the carriage, the bearing cups, they are machined exactly right for these bearings. They're not machined too tightly, and they're not machined too loosely, but your bearings should just slide right in there. You know, if you do a test press, you should be able to push that in with your fingers. But there won't be any lateral play. You know, it will slide in nice and loose. I guess you could say loose, smoothly, I should say. But you won't be able to move it around side to side or anything. I mean, they machine those just perfect. So, the reason for that is because this is the way this is designed. I mean, that bearing, you can see, sits in a ways. Yeah, there you go. You can see it now. A little lip there. And behind that is, anyone who's worked on these would know, there's a steel spring washer that kind of tensions the shaft in there. So you got your steel spring washer, then your bearing, and then your flange. So the reason these are machined this way is so when you press them in, you don't damage the bearing, because you're putting the pressure on the inner race. In my case, I was able to put pressure on both sides, which made me really happy. The inner and outer. I wanted to make sure I did that anyways. But if you had to, you could put just pressure on the inner and not damage the bearing, because they've machined this just right, so it'll pop right in there without putting force on the bearing. So a lot of people are under the impression that it's too loose, that it's not supposed to be like that, but it is. So yep, the bearings, I think I mentioned it, they're 6202s. Make sure you get the 6202-10s or 6202-5/8, depending on the manufacturer. These are relabeled as 6202-5/8. Anyways, alright, so I'll demonstrate how I got this all together.